Hi everybody, it's Catherine here today and thanks for joining me on my channel today. I'm going to be sharing with you a layout I created for the Cocoa Vanilla Studio challenge for the month of August over on their Facebook group. And it was this gorgeous mood board titled Saturday Afternoon, and I was really inspired by a tree with some hanging frames. So I went ahead and cut this cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and it's called So Happy. So it's going to form the base of my title. And I'd also picked out some papers from the Hollow Lovely collection that I'll use as the background. But for the cut file, I'm going to be using the Unforgettable collection to back all these flowers and also the leaves. And so as you can see here, I'm going ahead and just placing those flowers down on the right part of that floral paper. I wanted to pick out a few different colors, but I'm actually gluing it down and then I'll go back in later and cut around it. I found this the easiest way to back these flowers on the cut file because I wanted a specific position. So I back cut files in different ways depending on the type of cut file I'm using. But as you can see, I'm just going ahead and using this gorgeous green paper on those leaves there. It's a beautiful mint green from the Unforgettable collection. So I'm just working on opposite sides of the cut file because it's quite delicate and I want to make sure that the glue's drying before I start to cut around it too much. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just, using my scissors to trim around the edge so that there's no excess paper showing there. And I find these the best scissors. They're from EK Success. They're my favorites, and I actually think I need to add another pair to my stash because I use them all the time. But yeah, I'm just going ahead and trying to glue down a mix of the colors from those flowers. So I get a good range of different colors, the pinks and the orangey peachy colors to go on this layout. And I'm just using some liquid adhesive in my fine line bottle. Again, that is my go-to for when I'm backing cut files. I love the fine tip of the fine line bottles. And you can, just not have to use too much glue. And as you can see, I have finished backing the cut file. And I'm going to go ahead and trim out this background piece and start putting my background together. Like I said earlier, I was really inspired by the green kind of dots in the mood board. So I wanted to use this paper. I think it's called Confetti from the Hollow Lovely collection. And I really liked it on the wood grain, but I felt like it needed something behind it. So I wanted to back it in this white. And I'm just using my edge distresser just to go up and rough up the edges there of that green paper. And I'm just going to leave a really small border around for that white paper to sit on the wood grain. And because it's wood grain and it's cocoa vanilla, of course I have to gut the center of that paper so that I can use it somewhere else another time. And yeah, I'm really liking the way that's looking and how that background's coming along. And I do go ahead and stitch. I'm just going and pulling out my sewing machine because I do want to do some stitching around part of that file. Usually I would stick all of that together, but yeah, for some reason today I just did the 2 layers and then started to sew round, and then I'm going to adhere that to that other wood grain paper. So I'm just using a white cotton to stitch here, and I do go ahead and pull the thread through to the backing, and so then I'm going to tape down using double-sided tape, and that's going to then form my adhesive for that background. And this is how I like to kind of mat my papers. Go ahead and pull one of the sides of double-sided tape down to align it, and then pull the others off to stick it down. And I'm really happy with how, that cut file's sitting. And before I created this layout, I actually hadn't had any pictures in mind, but I knew that there was plenty of pictures of my son climbing trees, and again inspired by that tree with the frames. I went to these photos, and now I'm just backing them with frames from my stash. I'm not really sure where they're from, but I'm just trimming around those photos, and I'm going to just sit them just underneath that flower, those two flowers. And I thought about maybe using that wood grain again to back them, but no, those frames match pretty well. And so now I'm going to start to embellish. I'm going to go through all of the things in this Unforgettable collection. So I've got the cardstock stickers, the ephemera pieces, some clear stickers, and so I'm just going to go through and see what I can make work. And I keep coming in to check because I feel like those frames are too empty now. And so I decide to back them with this gorgeous little, I think it's Daisy's pattern paper. That's from the, I think, 6x8 paper pack. And then I found these tassels, and I really liked the way they looked, hanging there as well. So as you can see, I'm just going through all the ephemera pieces and picking out what I think is going to work. There was, some really nice little sentiments there that I thought would work. That circular element says a moment in time. And yeah, I'm just moving it around because I really do like that sentiment, but I'm not sure where I'm going to place it yet. And I picked out a fair few of these pieces, and then I decided some butterflies will go really nicely here on the layout. And so I'm starting to build out quite a few little clusters, and I think a mixture of flowers and butterflies, just to give the different types of colours throughout the layout. I've picked out those tags, those sort of pinky purpley color tags, and I'm sitting them on the edges of my photos because I feel like it makes them stand out a bit more. And as you can see there, I'm just bending up the butterflies and just putting glue on one part of the butterfly to make their wings kind of stick up. And yeah, I'm really liking how this is coming together, and I didn't want to stick the whole cut file down or mount it on foam tape, so I'm just going ahead and sticking down where the flowers are so that the others are still just sitting loose and give that sort of feel of movement. And I'm using a mixture between double-sided tape, some liquid glue, and also some tape runner there. And yeah, I've sort of stuck all the clusters around my photos together, so I'm just adhering them down. And then I'm going to come in with a few more of the small word stickers. That one says good stuff. And yeah, I'm just moving things around so there's no kind of awkward gaps in those embellishments. And I'm sticking down these tassels. I thought about trying to attach them to the string, but that wasn't going to work. And to finish off the layout here, I'm just going to come in with some enamel dots. Oh, I'm just fussing around with that piece up the top. And in the end, you know what? I decide that that's not going to work. I didn't like that heart sitting up there. So, it didn't seem to work on its own. So I decided to take it off. And then I went ahead and just used these white enamel dots to finish off the layout. And that's it for my layout today. So thanks for joining me.